Outside this morning, quite soggy looking. There's a look at IMS, and usually you can see downtown in the distance. Not this morning because of that fog that we do have in place out there across the Hoosier State. Again, quite soggy. Notice how that air fully saturated, so that humidity all the way up there. 49. Our air temperature right now in the Circle City. I want to show you the wide view of things. This is part of a massive system that is moving off to the east. Of course, it brought us heavy rain late last night for many parts of the state, and further down to the south. Unfortunately, severe weather came along with this, and actually we've had numerous tornado reports throughout parts of Mississippi and Alabama, and again some of that severe weather even creeping into Tennessee overnight. And unfortunately, we do have record of fatalities with those storms, so we're working to get more information on those storms, but we're getting that confirmed, and you can see all the different reports as we look at those local storm reports from the overnight hours. Nasty weather for folks down to the south of us. Meanwhile, here in the Hoosier State, notice how heavy rain is what we saw. Here's a look at that 24-hour rainfall, and as advertised, further to the south, 2-3+ inches of that rainfall, and the rest of us still saw some decent amounts no matter where you were the last 24 hours. Some of us still seeing that. Some scattered showers north of I-70 this morning. Most of us to the south turning drier, but we've got some fog, especially in our eastern counties. There you can see that heavy fog in place, the bright white color right there. Notice how air temperatures south and westward into the 50s. This is about as warm as we will get through the day, as those numbers will drop off as cooler air tries to usher in. And on the backside of this system, some winds help to try to usher that cooler air in. Notice how sustained winds, some of us 20 to 25+ miles an hour right now. Expect gusts near 40 miles an hour. And likewise, you can anticipate a windy day, wind advisory in effect through the day until 5 o'clock tonight for most of the state, with the exception of some of the north and western counties in Indiana. The rest of us under that wind advisory as we go through this afternoon. So let's time everything out. Again, some fog this morning. That should probably taper off. The winds, though, they crank up. Scattered showers continue, especially north of I-70. I do think by the time we get to the late afternoon hours, things start to dry up. Still dreary, though, through the day as temperatures drop. Far northern parts of Indiana, wouldn't be surprised if maybe even a brief snow shower occurs, maybe near the South Bend area. Again, far northern parts of the state. Should be dry later on as we get into the overnight hours. Those high temps, again, 50s for most of us along and south of I-70, but that probably happens during the morning hours. Notice how those high temperatures drop off, and again, we have to deal with those pesky winds. As we go through the overnight hours, the 30s for us. Tomorrow, we'll talk about those numbers. If you're wanting some upper 50s, maybe near 60, tomorrow is probably your day. Look at this. I think southern half of the state certainly getting into those 60s. It's not out of the question. We could see maybe a sprinkle tomorrow, but I think for the most part, the better chances of rain come Monday, and then we'll eventually see more come around to the 8-day forecast. Here's a look at that 8-day, and notice how we have those off and on chances, those spring showers certainly in full force in that 8-day.
You're watching Wish TV.